The Iran nuclear deal, or more formally known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, was a major achievement under the Obama administration, but it faces severe criticism under President Trump. Although Iran had signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, it was discovered that the state had been producing enriched uranium for nearly 18 years, information that it was obligated to share. This breach of the NPT resulted in the UNSC passing 6 resolutions requiring that Iran halt its uranium enrichment program. Ultimately, Iran suffered repercussions because they failed to provide the IAEA with enough information on their activities, and this included possible nuclear-related tests at secret military sites. As Iran refused to provide more information on its nuclear programs, the major states imposed nuclear economic sanctions to try to persuade Iran to change its behavior. This had been a collective, ongoing effort for nearly 10 years, and in July of 2015, the nuclear deal was co-signed by Iran and the US, along with China, France, Germany, Russia, and the UK. The reactions to the deal are a mixture of positive and negative, some thinking this allows Iran to develop nuclear capabilities, others who are confident that this has given the world at least another 10 years before Iran could possibly develop a nuclear weapon. It has thus far delivered what it was supposed to. In return for a repeal of economic sanctions, Tehran really can't produce nuclear weapons without detection. It has effectively limited the amount of enriched uranium Iran can stockpile, and also opened nuclear facilities to 24/7 inspection by the IAEA. There have been 2 technical violations, both of which have been identified and then rectified by Iran. But it has not been able to achieve a rapprochement with the US. Part of Trump's campaign was a firm stance on the nuclear Iran deal, where he said that he would tear it up. But is this really possible, and what does it mean? It is true that Iran now has access to over $100 billion of assets, which had been previously frozen, and they have also been recently provoking the US. Such provocations include ballistic missile tests, harassment of US Navy ships in the Persian Gulf, and the arrest of Iranian-American dual nationals. But it's debatable to the degree in which Iran's economy is recovering. The hopes for rapid recovery have been dashed, as Iran still lacks normal international banking ties. A complete tearing up of the nuclear deal would be an unwise direction for American foreign policy, because it would be difficult to recreate the circumstances which would bring Iran to the negotiating table for a second time. And Iran is not in the position to make more concessions. Even if the US pulled out from the JCPOA, the deal is multilateral, and the other signatories could keep it in force. In fact, it seems unlikely that the other nations are willing to reimpose sanctions. Furthermore, this provocation of Iran could initiate a nuclear arms race, which risks increasing tensions which could lead to military strikes. However, there are some options which the president could undertake which would not damage the reputation of the US and have a higher chance of being effective. These include new regulations over offshore dollarized transactions, and limitations which make it difficult for foreign companies to do business with entities which have connections to terrorist organizations. Looking at this from a realist perspective, the West desires transparency and some form of control over Iran out of the desire to maintain the balance of power and ensure superiority. The goal of this foreign policy is to maintain security by having the best and strongest military and nuclear capabilities. But not all are happy with the results of this agreement. Israel's Prime Minister called the deal a mistake of historic proportions, and other nations unfriendly in Iran have warned that it could fuel a nuclear arms race in the Middle East, further threatening the balance of power and limited stability in the region.